I don't think I need to introduce myself, which is the first slide. But the reason why I put this up is so that you can see my Twitter name, @Paskell. And also, if you want to follow National Theatre Wales on Twitter, it's @NTWTweets. So those of you who are beginning to tweet, send a tweet now referencing both of those. It's a really good start. The Beach was one of the projects that I think, like all of them did, it really brought together the three key aims of National Theatre Wales's first year, which was to be innovative, engaged and international. And that show was called The Beach. And like John said, it was an interactive game that happened on the beach in Prestatyn. It's a place that doesn't necessarily see much theatre, and obviously it happened on a beach, so there were loads of challenges that came with that kind of site-specific work as well. But it was an immersive game that we made with three emerging artists, that's Bethan Marlowe and Rhiannon Cousins, who are both two emerging playwrights, and also Carl Morris, who you will have had your sessions with today. We made it in collaboration with Hide and Seek, who are a pervasive gaming company based in London. And basically, we use these words pervasive and gaming, and a lot of you are going, what's that? It's basically, if you imagine that the environment is your set, this room is your world, and you are the players, you are the audience, but you're also then the characters in that story. So you will be asked to fulfill a series of things, to follow a narrative, to achieve some goals, maybe win something, and also learn about your environment and a story in the process. It's all about local community, and it's all about putting the audience at the core of what that show is. Now, The Beach was a show about what we called the missing generation, and it came around because the four of us were in a car, and we spent a lot of time driving around the coasts of North Wales, and we went to all of these different seaside towns and beach areas, and we were looking around and we realised that there weren't that many people in these towns that were like us. There weren't that many people in their 20s and 30s. And I remember Carl Morris going into a hotel in Llandudno and going up to a guy and saying, oh, you know, how old are the people generally who come here and stay? And the guy looked around and was like, look around you. And it was almost like, you know, he was waiting for them to die. It was a bit depressing. So we sort of sat down on the beach in Prestatyn once and we went, oh, why is there no one like us? And we had a pizza and some beers, and the idea of the missing generation was born. Why is it that people our age move away from their hometowns, and why don't they go back? And if they do go back, what makes them go back? And what keeps them away? And that was the start of the idea behind The Beach. Because we're focusing on digital narratives, I wanted to show you this, because I'm sure John told you when he did his keynote speech, the launch of National Theatre Wales happened online, and this is a still from the video of the launch, the first time that anyone had heard of this project, The Beach. And actually, when they were launching it, the three artists were in cyberspace, talking to each other to give people an idea of the kind of thing that they could expect. And at that point, we didn't really have a production. And what happened was, as we developed the story of this missing generation, and we developed these two characters that were called Charlie and TJ, we decided that actually a really good way of connecting with new audiences, and particularly audiences, again, that were our age, younger people, people who'd moved away from their hometowns, was to connect with people through Facebook. And so what the writers did and what Carl did was set up Facebook pages for the two characters, for Charlie and TJ. And it was actually through these two separate Facebook pages that the story began online. And you could follow, from before we'd even cast the production, you could follow Charlie's story as he was coming back from his dance school in Russia, and as he was travelling around Wales trying to find some purpose, something to do, something that would bring the missing generation back to Prestatyn. And similarly, you could follow the journey of TJ, who was from Merthyr. He'd got fed up of his life there, and he decided that he needed a purpose and something that would actually make him make a difference to his community. So what we wanted to do was, when these characters then supposedly met in real life, all of this was then reflected through Facebook. And we wanted our audience to connect with each other, to connect with the characters, and actually feel like they were developing a relationship and following the story even before the production began. And so it meant that the audience were no longer sort of sitting at home, paid their money, waiting for the show. They were actually already on the journey with us, following these characters and trying to find out what was going to happen to them. So we no longer have this idea of the audience there on the periphery and the artist here. It's actually everybody's making this production together. And the interesting thing is that actually from this Facebook page, we had a fan page made on a separate Facebook page of the beach, which was pretty crazy, but it just showed how interested people were in this production. They wanted to make their own Facebook pages. What the Facebook pages then became was a call to the audience to come and join in this quest to bring back the missing generation. And so what we did when we had the actors on board and we had them in for satin, every single day leading up to the production we made a video diary. And these two actors, along with the creatives, made video diaries for every single day leading up to the beach. So if you can just play the video, this is an example of one of those videos.
Right there.
Let's try and find a campsite. Let's try and find a campsite.
Let's find a place to camp tonight. Looking bleak.
Hi, I wondered if you've got any availability to camp this week.
I'm afraid we don't allow camping anymore, I'm sorry.
Oh, this is a campsite, right?
No, it's a static caravan site now.
Oh, right, okay then.